welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Odd. We're hosts Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hi.
Right, we're back to Hammer, which is fairly recent. You know, we covered two recently, didn't we? The Kiss of the Vampire and Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. But we are back in sort of more familiar Hammer characters here with Frankenstein, Victor Frankenstein, and Peter Cushing, with The Evil of Frankenstein, which came out in 1964. This one wasn't directed by Terence Fisher. We've got someone else. We've got Freddie Francis. So it's the third installment in the Frankenstein. This one, before we even start, had money in from Universal. And it kind of was fairly watered down compared to what we used to. And I didn't know that when we were watching. We were just watching it, and it was a bit dull. And
it was really dull.
And it had a weird structuring too. I mean, Peter Cushing always delivers. And there was a few other characters that were kind of interesting, but mostly it was all about Peter Cushing. The film starts dramatically, which is often a Hammer thing, you know, to make it scared, and then you can just settle into the sort of drama for a bit. Basically, a guy breaks into a house and steals a body, doesn't he? And this little girl witnesses it, runs away, and she bumps into Baron Frankenstein. And then screams and runs away as well.
Happens to be hiring the guy snatching bodies so he can make a new monster.
Yes. So. And he pays the old body snatcher, who then gets all moralistic, like, well, what are you doing with it? It's like, what
do you care?
Yeah, exactly. Essentially, what he wants is his heart. He wants the heart, doesn't he? He wants to explode with the heart. Basically, he takes out the heart and tries to reanimate it, get it pumping again, which happens. Meanwhile,
a priest breaks in and starts accusing him and destroys the heart.
Yeah,
so he basically bails on town to get out so that he can avoid any police intervention. Yeah, because the priest isn't going to do something. So
the priest, I think, talks to the little girl, then finds the body snatcher, and that leads him on. And he seemed a decent character, but he doesn't appear again, really. So we get Frankenstein also got his assistant Hans, who looks a bit weirdly like Eric Roberts, British version of Eric Roberts, and isn't much of a character, to be honest. He's
the only real identifying feature is his loyalty to the Doctor.
Yeah,
so
who
that's
goes
kind of
on and in this one, it's almost like the second film was never made. The Baron's going about, I once made a creature and I can do it again. Like, he hadn't done it twice since, it's kind of weird. And he returns back towards his own hometown where he got thrown out, for creating a monster and all that business. That happened in the episode, in the first movie, right? The Curse of Frankenstein, that is. And his plan is he wants to sell the valuables from his chateau to fund his work, but he finds it's been ransacked and it's a right old state. So they what happens? Do they encounter when they go to the village?
They go into the village and there's a festival on, like a carnival sort of thing. And there's all sorts of things they've got little Ferris wheels. They've got a hypnotist. They've got and Frankenstein and Hans go and sit in a food sales place.
Yeah, Zoltan the hypnotist. Yeah, and they got masks on because he doesn't want to be recognised.
It's kind of a masquerade. Everyone's got masks
on. Yeah. And there's
a pretty funny bit where this innkeeper tries to short them on wine. He's like, I'll have some of that, and then can you fill the glass up properly, please?
And then go and get me something to eat. And he's saying, we haven't got food now. He goes, yeah, you are licensed. You have to serve food. We want this, this, and this, and fill my glass up.
Yeah.
And then they...
Frankenstein recognizes that the former police chief, or I guess, what do they call him? The Burgermeister.
The Burgermeister. Yeah. He's wearing one of his rings.
Yeah. So basically, he looted his house after he was gone.
Yeah.
In spite of, he got executed at the end of the first film, so I guess it would be a natural assumption that he was dead. So
yeah. He goes nuts here. Considering he's supposed to not be in this town, he does not care. He goes over.
He's the one insisting that they go do stuff undercover. And they're like, the second he sees one of like his old family rings from his castle, which he knew had been looted already.
Yeah.
And like, what's the natural assumption that it's not the people living nearest by? It's like, what? Yeah. It's fair enough.
But it's the burgomaster, isn't it? And he demands from the police chief, who was. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned we get a very extended flashback, don't we? A very extended flashback of how he built
Frankenstein built the monster. It's like him being chased with the monster, and the monster running up a hill and getting shot into a pit.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, it's dead. It's definitely dead. There's no precedent for the Frankenstein's monster to survive falling in a pit.
Yeah,
no way.
One of the things that interrupt him is like a police constable who shoots Frankenstein, in fact, in the arm.
Yeah.
And that guy has become the police chief since, right? And so he's demanding from this police chief that he arrested the burgomaster, and the police chief's going, "Do I know you?" It's all that kind of stuff. Anyway, they kind of run. They go on the run, don't they?
Yeah.
Actually, no. They escape into the fair and they go into the tent of the hypnotist, the great Zoltan or whatever his name is.
Who basically, the second the police walk in, starts shouting at them and gets himself arrested instead of them. So.
Yeah. It was interesting. So they meet this Zoltan guy, who I think is actually an interesting character. I recognised him, but it was like real, and I don't think I've seen him anything else. He played Del Boy's dad in one episode of Only Fools and Horses. He's got quite a distinctive voice in that, and he was in this. And he's a very expressive and slightly overacting kind of actor, but he was kind of interesting and had some energy about him at least. There was some energy with him at least. He was better than say Hans, right?
Yeah.
So he's been kicked out of town too, Frankenstein. They hid in his tent, and the police. It was weird because the police captain.
The police walked in and was like, "Stop the show. We're looking for someone." And Zoltan was immediately like, "Fuck you, police! You can't do anything. I'm going to carry on the show."
And he goes,
"Nothing can stop me." And the police literally go, "You got a license?" He's like, "No, we don't need to look at that."
So he gets sentenced to get out of town or pay 20 crowns or something.
Yeah.
So anyway, Frankenstein and Hans kind of keep running, and they go up into the hills. Frankenstein determines they're going to go up to the hills, and then they see this sort of deaf mute girl who kind of shows them some shelter in a cave.
And oh boy, if the Frankenstein's monster wasn't frozen somehow.
Yeah,
it's glorious summertime.
Yeah, and now this really does hark back to Universal movies.
Yeah, because he's been. Frozen. How many times has he been frozen or buried and broken out?
He was buried in a sulfur pit in the Son of Frankenstein.
Ice, sulfur, and I think he just got buried at one point.
No, he was frozen at the end of Ghost of Frankenstein, and then still frozen at the beginning of Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. So that's the bit where he's frozen in that, but he's buried or whatever as usual, right?
Yeah.
It's a callback to that. And also I should mention, because Universal were involved, they allowed the use of the Karloff Frankenstein makeup, so we get a weird variant of this, which is not very good, is it?
It doesn't match up.
It looks like a zombie with a brick on his head. That's
that's probably the closest we can get.
Yeah,
which, to be fair, is arguably better than in the original Hammer Frankenstein, where it's just a Christopher Lee with cottage cheese smeared on his face.
And lots of scar, sewn up bits of face and stuff. Anyway, the creature, they get it back. They manage to get it down the mountain and take the girl with them.
They get it back to the lab, pretty much.
Yeah.
Then they realize that its brain is too damaged to actually function properly. So for some reason they think this circus hypnotist will be able to help with that, and it works.
Yeah, this hypnotist manages, but what that means is it's him that has control of the monster. It's a bit like the Igor Frankenstein dynamic in the Universals, though that was done way better. So Zoltan has interposed himself, and then Zoltan starts getting the monster to go down and nick things and get revenge on the town because they kicked him out. It's like, why don't you just piss off Zoltan, you know? So in the when Frankenstein finds out Zoltan's been doing all this, he's gets super mad, doesn't he? And basically kicks him out. But Zoltan won't have any of this, and he manages to see the creature through the bars. Oh, basically, there's some nasty bits where Zoltan's kind of looks like he's going to do something nasty with the girl.
He's going to rape the girl.
But then he kind of just laughs and drinks.
Yeah.
Right. And the monster sees him drinking. Doesn't he give the monster a drink at one point?
Yeah. He gives the monster a drink, and then the whole ending sequence kind of comes about because the monster keeps trying to drink stuff. So
yeah, and Frankenstein has just had a bottle of chloroform opened, and the monster literally tries to drink chloroform, and obviously that would
just chucking it everywhere, and it ends up catching fire, and the whole castle falls into the sea.
Yeah,
there is one good line before that where it's like, they're talking about the monster's hands for some reason, and Frankenstein's like, I know they were good. I researched who I was digging up.
Yeah, no, I thought it was his eyes. He goes, his eyesight seems okay. So I know, I gave him those eyes. It's going to stuff like. There is a bit where Frankenstein is in the village, and then a mob, who are the most listless mob you've ever seen, decide to go to the castle, and he just rides a pony.
He literally rides a carriage past them.
And gets them a bit.
They don't even have any flaming torches. Come on, commit to the bit.
Yeah, and then because the whole castle's on fire, it all explodes, and the mob just watch it explode. And that's so as far as we know,
Frankenstein go down with the castle.
Go down with the castle. Yeah. So and you know. The deaf mute girl's okay because Hans rescues her, but she didn't really do that much other than showing
she
where
kind
the
of led
was.
them to the monster, but that's it.
That's it.
And had like a fist fight weirdly as when they walked into the village with some random guy.
So. Yes, there was also that. That's how she knew them, isn't it? As well, is that how?
That's what they recognized her from.
Yeah. Did they help her as well? With that, or stop it happening? I can't remember now. So firstly, it was a weird story. It kind of meandered about. Apparently, the script was based on a synopsis that was presented for a TV series called The Tales of Frankenstein.
Oh boy!
So it could be it was sewn together from several stories from that.
That makes sense.
And the continuity with the Hammer Frankenstein's was broke, you know. Missed the whole film, and like I say, Universal put money into this, so you could get the lab was pretty cool. I quite like the lab, but the makeup wasn't great. Kiwi Kingston was the monster in this. He's a wrestler, very tall wrestler, but apparently quite a lot was cut by Universal to put it on American TV as well. How this was too strong for people, I can't quite see, other than maybe rapey Zoltan here and there. But it wasn't particularly bloody or anything, was it really? And the only, Cushing was good, and I thought the guy playing Zoltan was pretty good. The deaf mute girl was doing her best. She was okay, given she couldn't speak. Hans was a wet rag, and it wasn't great otherwise. It was funny that the Burgomaster had this young wife who was more
interested in Frankenstein.
Yeah,
there was a lot of like Frankenstein would walk into the room and she'd go ooh, and like lean forward on the bed.
It has been equated to like the worst in the Frankenstein series.
I can believe that.
Because it was dull. It was dull, right? It was dull. So not a great one. It was helped a bit by Cushing being in it, but he wasn't given free rein. This seemed way tamer than the other two as well, didn't it, really, frankly? It seemed like a kiddie version or a TV version. What would you give it out of 10?
I'd give this a 5, maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to be a little... I think 5's fair, I have to say. I'd say 5.5. I can't give it a 6. It's not that good, but 5 feels a little mean. On IMDb, it's 6.1, so, you know, there is that. It was reasonably colourful, But I have to laugh about. I'm looking at some of the photos on IMDb, and a lot of them are the lady with the cleavage, the young wife of the Burgomaster. For some reason, I don't know why. But yeah, not a great one. They totally get better. I can tell you that. There are better ones coming down the line when it comes to Frankenstein. So yeah, so 1964 was when this came out. So any final thoughts before we wind up?
I really hope the next one's good because
Yeah,
we've kind of had a string of stinkers.
Yeah,
so.
we have. It's been a bit unfortunate, hasn't it? But we have got some better ones that are coming down the pipe. I can tell you that. Yeah. Not necessarily the next few, I have to say, but we have got some coming really soon. So yes, Evil of Frankenstein. Okay, let's wind it up there. So bye from me.
Bye.